Good morning, Jade. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, John. Yeah, my name is Jade. I work in a special education setting with senior students at a school in Cranbourne.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jade. So I'll just ask you a few questions. The first one being, what role does reflection play in your teaching practice?
Well, reflection, I would say, is a key part of any practice as it helps you evaluate the effectiveness of all your strategies that you've implemented, whether that be in your classroom or in your planning. You can identify areas of improvement, and obviously from there you can make the necessary adjustments to better support your students or better support yourself, and uh, how I guess from reflection you can learn both what did work and what didn't work, and yeah, you can improve from there.
And that's a constant thing for teachers, isn't it? Always thinking, what am I doing?
It
Is it working?
Yes, it is constant. It is not just say setting an assessment and then seeing how that went. Reflection is in every moment. You have to reflect. You could say to a student, it could be as simple as you could say to a student, okay, especially in a special education setting, you might, something as small as you might move their pencil case wrong, and they don't like it. And then you need to reflect, okay, this is something with that student that is not possible to do. And that's like a 1 second reflection, 1 second learning. And it is constant throughout your day in any teaching setting.
Wow, that must be extra pressure and extra need for reflection and critical reflection too, where you think, okay, you're not just thinking about what I did, but how do I make a change for the better?
Yeah, how do I make the change for the better? How do I make the student more comfortable? How do I make the student feel safe, I guess, within the classroom? Because to you, it might, especially in special education, again, to you, it might be nothing, but to them, it might be everything.
That's
That might be their safety, that their toy is on the left side, upper left side of their desk, you know. So you really have to learn each of your students. And how to best support them in the setting that you're creating.
Thanks, Jade. Okay, my next question is professional learning is continuous for teachers. We've always got to be thinking about how can I improve my practice. Is there an area of professional learning that you're working on or thinking about at the moment?
Uh, I guess at the moment I'm focusing on, like as every teacher is, further developing your knowledge. But specifically for me, it's more skills in like trauma-informed teaching practices. Because many of the students I work with obviously have experienced trauma and are understanding how to support them in that way. So I can, foster a great relationship, build trust. You really need that emotional safety to create that space for your students. And I think more than ever, you always need to constantly work on resilience in yourself because it's very crucial.
Yeah, resilience is important, isn't it? It's a hard job being a teacher. You're
It's not,
constantly.
sorry.
No, you go.
No, yeah, it is constantly being mentally prepared for anything.
I guess in your instance too, where you're working with special needs students, the idea of inclusivity and diversity, those ideas are uppermost in your practice. How do you ensure that your classroom is inclusive of diversity?
Um, well, the classrooms are very, very diverse. But myself to ensure inclusivity and diversity, I like to implement a lot of individualized teaching strategies that cater to each student. And each of my students are different. I could have uh, I guess it's differentiating my instruction and the assistive technology I use, the resources I'm using, and I need just a wide range of resources because I have a large range of students with different learning styles.
Right.
They're all different. So I guess the best you can do is, positive classroom culture, make all students feel valued regardless of their abilities, backgrounds, identities. I work very closely with parents and I work very closely with support staff. And I guess all the professionals, they try to ensure that like every student has access to the curriculum, but always in a meaningful way. Um, it's just making sure you have a broad range of resources to accommodate, I guess, all those different learning styles because all students are different.
And it really is a team game, isn't it? Like you said, you rely on your colleagues and your professional staff there to help you.
Very much so. Teaching is you need to have all that support around you as well. Also, I guess in reflection as well, because you might get stuck in reflection and not kind of see a way out of it. And that's where your support staff come in. And the support staff can really help you go, well, Jade, instead of doing that, you could implement this and see how that works. And I've never thought of that. That's a great idea. And it could work and it could not. It's constantly going back to the drawing board and having that support around you is very important.
I think you made a really key point there. The idea that reflection, it's not a solo thing. There will be times when you can't come up with an answer yourself, but having that team
Yes.
there is so crucial for when you are stuck. And you've got to be able to reach out as a teacher and say, "Hey, I'm stuck. What can I do here?"
Yes, most definitely. You really need that. And I was actually so blessed last year that I had this great this great team surrounding me, which was fantastic. And we really and you can really see the difference when you do have that team around you within productivity. Yeah, it's a great environment when you have a great team, and that then goes on to your students.
Fantastic. All right, Jade. So my next question is about when you graduated from teaching and you were approaching your first job or just beginning your first job. Was there oh gosh, I wish I'd known this moment? Was there a thing like that when you first stepped out into the world?
Yes. I wish I had learned more about the importance of self-care and managing stress, because it is crucial. It is very crucial in teaching, because you get in and you think you can just go, 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 and you do, and you can burn out. So you have to be careful to go, okay, yes, I'm going to do all this, but also make sure when you get home, it's your home time. Um, Take it easy, take some downtime for yourself, because the emotional and mental demands of teaching, especially in special education, can be overwhelming. And I didn't initially understand how to set boundaries and prioritize my own well-being at the start. And I guess I also wish I received a bit more training in, I guess in collaboration at a schooling level. So then I went in more thinking, okay, this is a team. This is not just me, rewriting education. So I think that's something that you have to remember as well. And it's very important. I think early exposure to those aspects would have made me feel a lot more confident in my role, and I guess a lot more confident to ask for help.
I think that's a key point, Jade. That's a really key point. The idea that you're not alone, you don't have to do it all, and you can't do it all unless you look after yourself anyway. You've got to
That's
reach
right.
out, seek help, but look after yourself and set boundaries. That's a really key point. Okay, my last question, Jade. If you were to give some advice to a student walking in to the first subject in their first year of an education degree, what would be the number one piece of advice you would give them?
Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. I think that's my number one piece of advice. Never underestimate the power of collaboration, whether it's with your colleagues, your family, external professionals, whoever you're working together with to support students is essential because then you're going to create a very well-rounded, supportive learning environment. It's easy when you don't have that or you think you don't have that to feel isolated in a classroom. I think by reaching out, sharing ideas or strategies, can not only improve your teaching practice, but can also provide emotional support and new perspectives for you.
Fantastic.
Building those professional networks is the most important.
And that's interesting, isn't it? Because in study, people often go, "Oh no, group work, I have to work with other people." And you may not want to work with the people you work with, but that's going to be the same in the workplace, isn't it? So the more you build those collaboration skills and you work through uncomfortable situations, the better you get.
Well, yeah, you have to. I mean, there's always uncomfortable situations. You can always find yourself in uncomfortable situations. But at the end of the day, if it is collaborative work, you are there for each other and you've all got to play a crucial role and you've got to get it done.
Thanks, Jay. That's been fantastic. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
That's all right.